a thing for my own brother. This is gonna be interesting.
I have a problem.
Yeah, you do. I think you might have to see a therapist or something. I won't like jump the gun, make any assumptions, but hi, what's up? Today I'm reacting to a true story animation where apparently this girl has a thing for her own brother. However, I'm not surprised at this point. I don't know if you've ever seen my other videos where like it's my sisters have a crush on me. I fell in love with my stepmother. It's a lot. I don't know where they're getting this from. Let's just watch it.
And by problem, I mean really bad problem. I have this classmate who sits a few chairs away from me. He hates me. How do I know that? He said it point blank to my face before.
At least he's upfront about it. No one likes a two-faced person.
Even though he said he hates me, he constantly looks at me during and outside of class. Want to hear the worst part?
Maybe he's planning your demise.
I have a crush on him. It started off weird. He was the anomaly in the class. Quiet, reserved, kind of brooding, and very asocial. He's not failing the class, but he's not soaring either. For some reason, I was attracted to him. Not flat out love, but enough for me to know I liked him, even though I didn't even know his name. Pretty sad if you ask me. Now that I think about it, I never really talked to him. There was one time where I tried to introduce myself. It was right after class. He was slow to pack his things, so I went over to him first.
Hold on. You've never really talked to him, however, he told you straight up to your face that he hates you.
Interesting.
Seems a little unrealistic, but we'll go with it.
I tried to introduce myself, tell him my name and whatnot, but he just looked at me, stood up, said I hate you, and walked past me. I was pretty confused, seeing as I didn't even know the guy, and he was so hostile towards me.
Maybe that was his tactic though, you know, like nice guys finish last. Maybe he's just coming on a little too strong. He's probably just trying to like take the frick boy approach, you know, try and be a little mean to you, but is my rat eating its own poop? Voldemort, please don't do that. It's a rat. It doesn't know its name. Oh wait, he came to me. Hello, hi. You're so smart. I love you.
I never tried to talk to him again after that, but I kept catching him staring at me. He would look away whenever I caught him. He never spoke to me or followed me. All he did was stare at me. For some reason, that was endearing to me.
See, this is why people get kidnapped. I'm just gonna put it out there. Also, I feel like you need to speak to a psychiatrist. He also does too, but you should probably call the police.
Crazy, I know. Just hear me out. Whenever I would catch him looking at me, he wouldn't glare or scowl at me. It was more like a passive, curious look. He was sending me mixed signals constantly. He first told me he hated me, then he kept staring at me like he wanted to talk to me, or even be my friend. I eventually learned his name from classmates. His name was Louis, and he never talked to anyone in the school. He didn't have any friends or anyone willing to talk to him.
I wonder why. He seems so endearing and kind.
Appearance-wise, I can see why. He was pretty intimidating. Dark eyes, dark curly hair, tall. He glared at everything he stared at.
Oh really? You just described every boy on TikTok.
Except me, apparently. Even with that knowledge in my mind, I never talked to him. I don't know why, but I preferred to observe him instead of getting hands-on knowledge. Some people suspect him to have bad intentions, and others found his whole demeanor hot and attractive. I would agree with the latter. He most definitely wasn't unattractive, and even though he hated interaction, he caught a lot of people's attention, including mine.
And this, ladies, is why we end up with boyfriends who treat us horribly. Not callous. Callous is great. That's because I didn't ignore the red flags this time. We need to stop doing this as a society.
One day, during school, I had arrived at class earlier than everyone else. The only one who was in the classroom was Louis, much to my luck. I didn't say a word. I just sat at my desk, unpacked my bag, and grabbed my books. He sat in the corner of the classroom, quiet.
Why are her hands so tiny?
I could feel it. I heard him shift behind me, and he stood next to my desk, looking down at me. Now remember, I still had a teensy crush on him, so that automatically made me flustered. I hid it well, though. I asked him if he needed anything, and he just told me he hated me again. It didn't sting as much as the first time, but it still bothered me.
Why would it, bother you if someone you don't even know told you they hated you? I'm like, okay. I mean, people do that to me all the time. Have you read my Instagram comments? It's rough.
I had the opportunity to ask him, finally. Before he could walk away, I asked him, "Why do you keep saying you hate me, then keep staring at me every chance you get?" I didn't say it meanly. I just asked a question. He just looked at me and kind of got mad. "It's none of your business," he said. That set me off. I stood up, right in front of him. "How is that none of my business?" I didn't yell it, but I certainly wasn't quiet either. "You keep staring at me. Then you do a 360 and tell me you hate me. Twice."
She's got a lot of balls going up to this dude that's been like stalker staring at her and just yelling in her face that he hates her without even speaking to her. Like, I feel like he could just flip and just...
"So yeah, it is my business." He just grew quiet and continued to stare at me. It was still a few minutes before class. "You're ridiculous." I walked past him and instead went to the bathroom until the class began. He didn't look at me the entire time. He kept his gaze straight. Maybe I finally got him to stop, or maybe I just ticked him off. Whatever the case, I no longer had to deal with his mysterious stares. At the time, I didn't know if that made me happy or lonely. My crush on him was fading after that.
Good. I just don't get it. But also, you know what I don't get? I don't get why you're not subscribed. Do it. Thanks.
About a week later, I was running a little behind and was going to be late for my one class. There were a few people in the hallway and the bell had already rung. With the heavy backpack slung over my shoulder, I ran, with a lot of effort, but I did. Just as I passed by a hallway leading to another part of the school, a hand shot out and grabbed me by the arm. I was pulled in front of someone. Of course, I thought I was getting kidnapped, so I automatically swung my backpack off and slugged it into him. He fell to the floor with a yell, and only then did I realize who I hit. It was Louis.
Good.
He deserved it, honestly.
I said it. That.
I immediately apologized, but kept my distance from him, just in case he decided to pop up and try to swing at me. He just waved me off and stood up himself. I was getting anxious then, because I was running late. He suddenly said, "You remind me of someone." I had no idea what he was talking about at that time, but he continued. "You look exactly like my sister."
Aren't they different? You know, races? I'm just pointing out the elephant in the room here, but there must be a reasonable explanation.
He and I were close, but my parents split, and she went with Mom. That got me thinking, "What's your sister's name?" He sighed, like he didn't want to talk about it, but he answered anyways. "Belle Xavier." It was then I realized something horrifying. My dad's last name is Xavier. I don't know how to end this.
There's still another minute and a half left. Give me an explanation immediately.
My former crush, who hated me and constantly stared at me, turned out to be my brother. You should have seen my mom's face when I told her. Then she revealed to me that when she divorced from mine and Louis' dad, she changed my name from Belle to Alexa, because my dad picked my previous name. So, because of that, my mom and dad reconnected. A child custody battle.
Hold on. What? This is like the Parent Trap. So they had two kids together, and why are they both different races is my question. Maybe they're not, and this was just the... I have a lot of questions.
Battle broke out, and now Louis and I are currently in a foster family because my parents won't settle on any agreement. So yeah, that happened. All because I had a fascination for Louis. Do I regret it? Kind of, yes. Is there a chance I will crush on someone who could turn my life upside down again? Yes.
Is there a chance you could commit incest? Yes.
But the good news is, I don't have a crush on Louis anymore. As if that's my biggest problem. Our parents asked us what we wanted to do. I don't know why we can't just go back to the way we were, but apparently that's not an option. Now that I know I had a sibling, things changed. That's what my mom said anyways. So now, not only are my parents having a legal battle—
Dude! Louis adopted, I have decided. Look at the parents!
Louis and I also got dragged into this.
Well... I don't know. I don't know why I'm focusing so deeply on the genetics of cartoon characters, but here we are.
And we're being pressured into making a decision of who to stay with. I don't know my dad very well, but he said Louis and I should try to become closer to one another. If I went with Mom, she wanted Louis to come with me, since she believes he's not getting the right attention. Who do you think I should choose? My mom or my dad?
I don't know, I don't care, none of that added up, and I'm done. So I hope you had a good time watching this. I am just confused. I've walked away from this feeling confused. So that's it really. I'm head out. Bye!